So I keep saying that you're not bullish enough when it comes to ADA. And I'm going to say it again. You're not bullish enough when it comes to ADA because although we've been dealing with some red in the crypto market, a bunch of manipulation, major capitulation across the space, are things really that bearish? No, they're not. And in fact, what we just saw was the second largest week ever in terms of ADA. And this is the largest week we have seen since the height of the last bull market cycle. And this is very important for this next leg for ADA in the crypto market. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell again. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So right now it's about 6:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. US money hasn't woke up and started to set our direction for the day. And again, I hope it's more on a green note. We have dealt with so many discounts as last week went on. It wouldn't surprise me if we do get a bunch of green this week. Now, this isn't a guarantee or anything like that. Nobody knows what's going to happen. We have to look at what is happening with Cardano itself, what's happening with ADA. There are some big steps forward that are being made. For example, there was a big announcement that came a few days ago. Checkpoint Software is partnering with Cardano to create a more secure and resilient Web3 ecosystem. They're going to be protecting against smart contract vulnerabilities, integrations with the Cardano ecosystem, helping identify issues before they even arise and addressing them. So this is, again, another step in Cardano's foothold across the Web3 space across the world. All right. Just continues to chug along. Doesn't matter what the charts are doing. And this is the reason why, frankly, Cardano has been so successful, even from the bear market to now. The price hasn't mattered. The sentiment in the market hasn't mattered. It's just work, 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 work. Oh, God, that's a song. Anyways, that's exactly what we want to see. And frankly, right now, you should be more bullish than ever when it comes to Cardano. And I want to show you guys why. First of all, when we look at this crypto fear greed index, we have to ask ourselves, are things really that bearish? We just had one of the biggest events ever in the crypto space. We've had the SEC backing off in a big way. We have the announcement of the strategic crypto reserve digital asset stockpile that ADA was in fact mentioned in relation to. And this is a big embrace. It's a big push towards mass adoption in the world. And I don't think people realize that. We have to ask ourselves, did it really mean that we should be at some of the most bearish levels we have seen since the bear market bottom in 2022, since the COVID crash in 2020, since China banned crypto in 2021? And the answer is no. That's why I'm saying it's all it's a big facade. It's fake. All right. That's why I'm saying they're trying to manipulate you. And it's just frankly not true. Now, the greatest thing some of the big things I want to mention are we saw we saw the second largest week ever in terms of ADA, which I'll get to in just a moment. But this is the chart I was looking for. Global liquidity on the rise, global liquidity on the rise. BTC tends to track with global liquidity. And guys, this is looking like where we're headed, right? I'm not guaranteeing anything, but pay attention to this. The market is going to want to correct and start moving the opposite direction as global liquidity continues to rise. But really what gets me excited in terms of ADA is, one, we have still insane amounts of volume going on, $1.8 billion over the last 24 hours. And this is a far cry from where it was before things really began to take off. If you guys remember at the end of the summer in 2024, we were only down about $100 million, $200 million a day in daily volume. Well, we're setting in a lot higher levels than that. ADA is primed to make a major move. Now, the question is when is that going to happen and what does that look like? Well, the conditions have been set perfectly for ADA's next leg because what we saw was the second largest week ever in terms of exchange supply removal. We actually saw $190 million in ADA removed from exchanges over the last week. This is the second largest week that we have seen since all the way at the bull market peak. It's the week of technically the week after the bull market peak, but September 5th, 2021. So $200 million removed that week, $190 million removed last week. So this is a big deal because what we've very consistently seen throughout this last cycle to now is this consistent buying and removal, people hoarding their ADA left and right. And the thing is when demand hits, when the market starts to see adoption take place, this is going to help move ADA price well beyond an all-time high, $7, $10, $15, $20. Nobody knows where things are going to stop, right? And again, this isn't a guarantee, but we have to think about how supply and demand works, right? And what we have what's been set up here is the perfect conditions for an absolute supply shock. Really think about this, right? Because now, even at these prices compared to back here, middle of February, late February, there is now hundreds of millions of dollars of less ADA available on exchanges here, meaning that all this upside liquidity, this resistance we've been fighting against here, it's dissipated. Wow. Can't speak this morning. It's dissipated. It is a lot easier to get that next leg now because people continue to buy and hoard, buy and hoard, buy and hoard. It's not rocket science, guys. It's very simple. And all we need now is we just need the sentiment to shift. We need, again, some of the manipulation to stop, and it's going to stop. Oh, that's right. One more thing I want to show you guys. BTC, CME gap created to the upside. That's a very important sign because, again, the market likes to close these upside CME gaps. Just take a look at last week. We saw what happened. We had the CME gap that was created basically from where was this? From Monday the 24th to Tuesday. And then we actually got a really sharp spike over the course of the following weekend, I think it was. No. Over the course of the following weekend that closed that gap. We're going to try to close this gap at some point here, guys. So what that means could be some very explosive signs for ADA. ADA keeps wanting to make a run. It keeps wanting to make a breakout to the upside. And there's going to be a point where it just runs away. We've talked about this kind of decorrelation that's starting with the market in terms of ADA. ADA can most easily separate from everything else because it doesn't have these major LPs like other assets do throughout the space with other assets. So it can move a little bit more freely. And that should give you a lot of excitement. The stars are aligning perfectly. I'm not saying it's going to happen today or tomorrow or the next day, right? But just be prepared because this will, in fact, be violent. So I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.